And INT committee, today is February 9 and it's 4 o'clock. So please call the roll.
Chairperson Juani Garza,
Here.
Vice Chair Ted Masiacos,
Present.
Alderman Jonathan Nunez,
Here.
Alderwoman Shweta Bade, Alderman at Large Keith Larson,
Here.
4 present.
Okay. The first item in the agenda is approval of the minutes for Monday, January 26th. The item is 26-0057. Motion approval, Alderman Nunez.
Second.
Second, Alderman Larson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed. Okay. Public comments?
No, we do not.
Okay. The first item in the agenda today is 26-0007, a resolution to adopt unit price submitted by Utility Dynamics Corporation, Oswego, Illinois, for 2026 electrical services.
Shock.
Good afternoon. Ian Wade with the Engineering Division. So this is for our annual electrical services contract that we use to have a contractor under contract to provide a variety of electrical repairs to our public electrical infrastructure. Primarily street lighting is the big item. Pole knockdowns being the lion's share of what this contract covers. Typically, we do this every 3 years, where we award a 1-year contract with 2 one-year options to renew. So we're back on the cycle now where this will be the first year of that 3-year cycle, and then potentially extending that into 27 and 28. Utility Dynamics Corporation of Oswego has had this contract for quite some time, so we have a really good working relationship with them. So we were quite pleased to see that their rates were considerably less than the other 2 respondents. So we are recommending to once again award this contract to Utility Dynamics.
Okay. Questions, comments?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved by Alderman Nunez. Oh, Alderman Larson, sorry.
Second.
And second, Alderman Nunez. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item is 26-0023, a resolution authorizing the Director of Purchasing to execute a 3-year contract with M.E. Simpson Company, Inc. to the amount of $267,225 for water system leak detection services.
Hello, my name is Brian Cadame with the Engineering Division. This is part of a annual, well, I should say, kind of annual program. We've been doing this program ever since the 1980s, and we started in 2016 with a 3-year program where we have a company come out and do a manual leak detection of our entire water system over 3 years. So we do about a third of the water system each year. This defines any kind of leaks on our water main on the distribution side, not necessarily the transmission side, as well as any service lines going into any private property. So we view it as a pretty successful program due to the low cost and our ability to cover the entire system in 3 years. It's about $90,000 a year, which we've got budgeted for about $100,000, and it was competitively bid.
Questions, comments? Yes?
Just to make sure I understood correctly, so we divide the city, the 800 miles, into 3, and then we do 1/3 every 3 years, or is it 1/3 every year? Sorry.
1/3 of the entire system each year. So,
Each year, okay.
Yeah, so
So
every
over the
3
3 years
years
we
we'll have
cover all
covered
of
the
it.
entire system, and we actually include the airport in there too, which will be in the first year of the program.
Could you explain a little bit more about how the process actually looks like? So if we do 1/3 of it in a year, how often are they out testing? How much do they cover every time they come out and test? What does that look like?
It really depends. If they find a leak, they have to do what's called correlation. So they're really it's an acoustical testing program. So you're listening for a leak, and then when they suspect a leak, then they do what they call a correlation. It's a little fancier equipment that takes a little bit more time. So from my understanding is when there's no leaks and they can kind of fly through the neighborhoods, and they're usually pretty quick. I'd say maybe about a month for the entire system. I'd have to go and check, or at least for that whole third of the system there. And that doesn't include any call-outs or anything like that, or any specific leak finding days.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. More questions? Motion approved. Okay, motion approved by Alderman Nunez.
Second.
Second, Alderman Larson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, pass 4-0. Now the Alderman Franco and Joya in our meeting. Okay, the next item is 260027, a resolution to execute a 2-year, $263,000 contract with the Fairground and Associations LLC for the MPDES complaints and environmental sampling.
Hi again, I'm Brian Kedman with the Engineering Division. So this is due to this city having a combined sewer system. We're required to comply with the Illinois National Environmental Protection Agency National Pollutant Discharge Elimination System, or the MPDES. We have 2 permits that we have to apply for under there. One is MS4, which dictates the amount of water quality that we put into the Fox River and Indian Creek based off our stormwater system. And then the other one dictates the amount of overflow and the pollutants that we can have from our combined sewer system into the Fox River and the Indian Creek. We have 15 combined sewer overflows that go into the Fox River, and then we have 1 overflow in Indian Creek. Overall, based off our permit, we must capture 85% of all flow that's would originally have gone out to the river and send it down to Fox Metro Sanitary District. So we work with a company, Fairgram. They've helped us design our telemetry that allows us to determine how much flows actually would be going out into it. So we have flow sensors at each one of the overflows. So over the last 2 years, we've been installing those. We have 2 more overflows left that we need new telemetry at, which is at Stolp Island and Galena. And then we also utilize them for sampling for both after storm events and our quarterly water sampling of our bridges. Just those are the kind of locations we had for just determining where we should take water quality samples. So this was actually 3 different contracts. We decided to combine it all into a single contract with Fairgram. They typically had all 3 contracts, but 2 of them were under $50,000, so never went to before council. We did that to kind of save on administrative costs and make it a little bit easier for us to manage the program, since it's all related to the MPDES permits. And so we propose to continue on with the relationship with Fairgram, since they're very familiar with our system. We believe it would save costs there without having to retrain other consultants and contractors on our system and permitting, and would like to carry that on for another 2 years.
Okay. Questions, comments?
Just one question.
Yes?
Could you monetize what the administrative savings are? in combining?
That's hard to say. I think a lot of just kind of back and forth checking there. So I wouldn't say it's like really great, we're not saving thousands, but it's a lot easier in our time as engineering, so we're not having to go back and forth. So it's all going to be coming through me now versus, having 2 or 3 different people going for it. It's a single point of contact with Fairgram, which kind of helps us understand, what's getting billed when they're going to be on site. So it's a lot, I'd say, savings in terms of that.
Time, yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay. No other questions? No comments?
Motion approved.
Okay, motion approved by Alderman Yoranta Núñez.
Second.
Second, Alderman Larson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0. Next item is 260034, a resolution to award a contract with Fairgram and Associates LLC in the amount of $242,000 for 2026 annual manhole inspections located throughout the city of Aurora, with the option to extend for second year up mutual agreement.
Good afternoon, Kurt Muth with the Public Works Department. So one of the inspection annual contracts that we have every year of our sewer system is to inspect manholes. And we target manholes that are going to be in our streets to be overlaid. We are hopeful to identify any dig repairs and get those completed ahead of time. So this is why we prioritize this activity. This is something we've bid out and used consultants, I think, the last 4 years. Fairgram, the consultant we're recommending, had it a few years ago. The last couple of years we had a different consultant. We went out for a request for proposals, and we got 6 submittals, had a team of 3 engineers review those and rank them, and Fairgram came out with the highest ranking, and that includes their the people they are going to have inspect them, they're certified to rank them through a national ranking selection, and factored in cost as well. So we are recommending approval with them, and then that they would expedite these and get them inspected ahead of the overlay this summer so that we could get any dig repairs done ahead of time. Be happy to answer any other questions.
The manholes is only like a natural manholes, or is also when they do construction, some repairs, the city makes some repairs and they leave some manholes in there. Does include this or no?
We replace the frames a lot when we do the roadways, but
Oh, okay.
anytime the actual structure below ground needs to be repaired, then we would have either our guys, our water and sewer division come and dig it out, or we may even contract it if it's a really deep manhole. There are some repairs that we can do after the fact, such as lining and repair of the concrete inside the bench where no digging is required. So they evaluate the manhole and help us determine which method of repair is appropriate.
Okay, thank you. Questions, comments? No? Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Motion approved by Alderman Larson.
Second.
Second, Alderman Nunez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0. Thank you. Next item is 26-0044, a resolution authorizing the Director of Purchasing to enter into an agreement with the Mid-American Elevator Company, Inc. for the elevator maintenance and testing services for city facilities.
Good afternoon, Luke Tatara, your new superintendent of the facilities maintenance. So this is to streamline and kind of get one company to oversee all the maintenance of the elevators in 11 of the city-owned buildings. We issued the RFP, there was a bid, 14 companies download the package. Unfortunately, only 2 companies submit the bid proposal. It went through evaluation of staff evaluate those proposals, and based on the proposals, we choose that this is the most qualified contractor. It will help us to have one point of contact and have one company who be responsible for all the elevators and for testing. So, is there any questions, concerns?
Questions, comments? Motion approved by Alderman Nunez.
Thank you.
Second?
Second, Alderman Larson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0. Thank you. Next item is 26-0049, a resolution to award a contract with ERA Valdivia Contractors, Inc. for the Church Road Elevated Water Storage Tank Rehabilitation Project in the amount of $1,861,150 for the Water Production Division.
Good afternoon, Bob Lively, Superintendent of the Water Production Division. So this is a major infrastructure maintenance project for the Water Production Division. The rehabilitation of this elevated water tank was previously identified and placed into the CIP. It's project I-054. It's been kind of percolating its way up to the top of our project priorities since we've gotten an inspection, a professional inspection back in 2020 that identified the approximate time frame to complete this rehab, and we're in that window now. So we partnered with EEI to be our engineer of record to design the construction and the project administration specs. We just finished the bidding on that, and that's what you have before you right now, the results of that. Aero Valdivia Contractors, Inc., they were the low bidder at the $1,861,150, or $1,861,150 out of 3 bids. There was about 11% difference between the 2 lowest bids, which we thought was pretty good, and even better, these bids came in significantly under the engineer's estimate of probable construction costs. So another good, that's a good benefit for us. So coming in much lower than that. So really that's it. The Church Road Water Tower is a 50-year-old water tower. It was previously rehabbed in 2001, 25 years after it was in service, and we're hitting that window again. It's now 50 years old, and we're doing the second maintenance at about the 25-year mark.
Questions, comments? Yes?
Thank you. Yeah, you might have already mentioned this about how low the bids were compared to the estimate. Are there going to be any other expected, like, significant construction expenses? Because I was looking through, what we had budgeted for engineering, or construction rather, and I believe it was 2.8 million in the capital improvement project, so we're close to $1 million under that. Are we like $1 million under budget, or are there any other things that we can expect to come through later in the year?
For this CIP, that's correct. The 2.8 was the estimate, was the budgeted amount for construction.
Oh,
Yes.
great.
So, yeah, it is significantly under budget from that.
All right, good news.
Okay. Yes?
Do we have any other water towers in the city that are coming up to that 25-year mark for maintenance as well?
We do have other towers, yeah, that are it may not be exactly 25 years, but we have an ongoing inspection program, so we get our reports and we know where things need to be, planned for the future and for budgeting purposes. So, yeah, we'll have other ones coming up. In fact, if you remember from our tour, right across the street, there's 2 Clearwell ground storage tanks. Yeah. Those are next in the queue for same type of project.
And when are those due to be inspected?
Well, we're working off the inspection report.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we'll probably hire an engineer this year and do construction next year.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay. More
Madam Chair.
questions? Yes?
Please. Thank you. Sir, thank you for the report. How long have you been using EEI at the city? Do we know by chance? At least a decade, right?
So, yeah, we've used EEI. In fact, Araval Divya, that's hired as a contractor for this project, they did the Indian Trail, same scope project back in 2014, and EEI was the engineer on that.
And where'd that come in terms of
Pardon?
projections and actual bids? Where'd that come in? Do we know? Could you recall, I should say?
The construction portion
Right.
of Indian Trail?
The actual cost and what was the budget there? Because 36% difference is a big deal. Maybe it's not a big deal
Yeah.
with a smaller project, like under 200 or 300,000, but something with $1 million difference, especially when we're trying to put a budget together, that can really skew a few things, don't you think?
Yeah, I think they, well, I'm not the engineer that does those predictions, but I think they rely on a lot of their other projects that they're managing of a similar scope for other communities. So I think they kind of use that information to project. They don't have a crystal ball. Nobody does. So
Is it the fact that we came out, were we bidding early in the season? Is that maybe it? I mean, I want to get a grasp of what's any variables that might have affected it.
We were kind of pushing the calendar to get this bid in. So we want to get them in. It's probably in the late winter or early part of the calendar year, because the contractors are, they're scheduling their work for the entire year of these type of projects.
Okay, because that's a big swing, $1 million.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that can be put into work with $1 million. I mean, it's a good thing, because other things have a better opportunity to be taking place in our budget.
Yeah,
if not added,
that
but-
savings will offset probably the repair work on the 36-inch transmission main. If you want to look at it from a water and
Yeah,
sewer
sure.
fund picture, different budgets, different accounts, but you could look at it that way.
Well, I'm looking at it more from a professional service
Oh,
point of view.
okay.
And that's why I asked how long they've been with us and what are the challenges. I would love to have EEI here and explain that. It's a big swing.
Yeah.
And I think
Well-
it's more important to have our professional services engineer here explaining that, and not having you to try to figure it out, because
Yeah.
you don't have the magic ball.
Yeah, well, the high
First of all,
bid,
they answered that.
wasn't that far off. They were closer to 2.5 million. So what EEI projected isn't that far off, really.
You always
From
have
one
a-
of the 3 competitive bidders.
You always have a large bidder, in my experience. There's
Right.
always going to be somebody, because they're so busy, they're going to throw money at it, and then
Right.
if they get lucky, great, they'll find somebody else to team up with. But
EEI does a fantastic job on the technical part of it,
Okay.
so I think that's
Well,
really important.
Let's just say this, moving forward, if we have something like this again before committee with a 36% $1 million type difference, it'd be great to hear the professional engineer be here to also help explain that too. That's where I'm getting at.
Okay.
So, Thank you, Madam Chair.
Okay, no problem. Okay, can I have a
Motion to approve?
motion? Motion approved by Alderman Larson,
Second.
second Alderman Nunez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0. Thank you. The next item is 26-0052, a resolution authorizing the award of contract to supply the potassium orthophosphate for the water production division. Oh, I'm sorry if I didn't pronounce it correctly. Orthophosphate?
Dipotassium orthophosphate.
Yeah,
There you go.
okay.
Bob Lively, Water Production Division Superintendent for this one too. Yeah, so this is a routine bid and purchase of a chemical for the Water Production Division. The difference is it's coming to you now because it's a new chemical. It's going to be employed in our enhanced corrosion control that we're going to be using at the treatment plant to bring the lead levels down. So
Okay.
this is just to purchase that chemical. We're still designing the facilities in the plant to store it and feed it, but we're looking at probably a March implementation of this. So we're just getting our ducks in the row to get the chemical purchased. There will be more on this topic, implementing this new chemical. It's my understanding at the mayor's report next Tuesday for myself and Jason.
Questions, comments?
Just to confirm, is this related to the experimental racks you guys
Yes.
showed us on the tour?
Yep.
At the water treatment center?
Yep.
So this is EPA approved and everything, so.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's the intent, to giving you guys a more concise but a broader look at the implications of using a chemical from a safety, efficacy, and regulatory standpoint. So, yeah.
Thanks for the clarity. Thank you.
Well, as soon as safe, right? Okay. Motion approved by Alderman Nunez,
Second?
second Alderman Larson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed 4-0. Thank you. Okay, next item is 26-0069, a resolution to enter an agreement with the Horror Construction Inc. to the amount of $460,535 for the 2026 Sur televising annual contract.
Hello again, Kurt Muth. So similar to the manhole inspections, we also like to inspect the sewers under the overlay streets to identify any repairs that need to be made and try and expedite those and get them done so that we're not digging and disturbing newly paved roads. So this is a contract that we bid out annually. This year we took a slightly different approach. We're going to utilize the Omnia Partners Cooperative Purchasing Program. We identified a contractor we've worked with in the past, Hair Construction. They have had contracts with us before to do primarily lining work, but this is related work and we're confident they can get it done. This will help us identify dig repairs, and eventually we will then also have a lining contract as a result of this as well. So the value of this contract is comparable to previous years as well. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Questions, comments?
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion approved by Alderman Jonathan Nunez,
Second?
second Alderman Larson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion passed 4-0. Next item is 26-0071, a resolution authorizing the execution of an engineering services contract with the Thomas Engineering Group LLC of Aurora, an amount not to exceed $168,890 to design a sound wall to replace the existing wooden fence along Orchard Road.
Good afternoon. Again, Ian Wade with the Engineering Division. So as Alderman Franco here can attest, this has been a long time coming. This project has been ongoing for better part of a decade now. As you saw in the memorandum, both the aldermen and past and present mayors' administrations have worked hard to try to accumulate as much funding as possible to help support this project and get this built for not only the residents out there, but all those that use that corridor. So basically, we had done some preliminary engineering previously that had identified some conceptual ideas that we had taken to both Kane County and made some preliminary presentations to the public. We're at the stage now where we want to move forward with the bulk of the design, the Phase 2 engineering, which is the actual design of the wall itself. Included in this scope is some actual noise testing out there, which is a little bit of a elevated depth of investigation and design to this to ensure that we select the proper wall material, heights, and things of that nature. There had been some preliminary suggested materials that we'd reviewed and vetted previously, but in doing kind of some of our own research and talking with some other consultants, it became evident that there are quite a few other options that we're excited to have Thomas Engineering here explore for us and get this project underway. So we did do an RFQ, and we received 2 responses. One was from the previous company that had provided the conceptual design for us, and the other was Thomas Engineering, which we found had quite a bit of past experience designing walls of this nature. So we're excited to get someone on board that will provide a level of expertise that we really hadn't had in this discussion and development to date. So with that, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions, comments? Alderman?
So when we go through this engineering now, because in the past, we had looked at a couple things. Height, various heights because of the level of the elevation of the ground itself.
Yep.
And then we looked at the thickness, we looked at site screen walls. Is that all gonna be thrown into the blender again and take a look at heights versus, you know, what it's made out of as far as the depth of it and the decibel level? That's all gonna be taken care of with this engineering project?
That will, yes,
Okay.
yes. We're excited because we think we're going to get quite a bit more data than we'd had previously. A lot of our conceptual design was kind of based on some of the wall types that the limited experience of the group that we'd had seen on previous projects. But as I'd mentioned, we'd been made aware of some other options, and this will include a lot more data that will help us more accurately identify the heights. And we won't just go off of the previous height of the wood wall, but we're actually going to dive deeper into designing a wall specific to the conditions out there. So, yes.
Do we know if the various walls, and I guess we're gonna get that data, difference in prices? Because, I mean, that's because I know the one, we're gonna do the site screen, and we checked the decibel level. The decibel level was different, but not to the naked ear. So we said, we're gonna go with the one that cost $1 million less. So
Right.
that's still kind of like what we're looking at, say, bang for the buck type of thing. If they can't notice it, even though the decibel level is greater with one versus another, if they can't tell, you know, understand it by the human ear, that we're gonna go a different level. I mean, I just wanna make sure all that discussion is gonna continue to take place.
Yeah, absolutely. And it'll be more in depth. You know, a lot of the decibel level recordings and things we've done have been more of on an informal basis. So these will be done by a firm that actually does traffic noise specific type of assessments. So yeah, we're confident that this is going to get us exactly what'll be best for the corridor.
And do we have a feeling when this is gonna be completed? Because, you know, stage by stage by stage, personally, I would love to have this thing done by next winter,
You bet.
2026. So do we have an idea when they may be getting back with this first phase of engineering, how long it typically takes?
Yeah, so realizing I didn't answer a small piece of your previous question too, they did feel just from a 10,000-foot analysis of what we had suggested the pricing might be, they did indicate that they felt that our price estimates were reasonably accurate.
Okay.
So I think we're confident that we're not going to get blindsided by something that's disproportionately larger than what we had expected. So that was good news just from a preliminary evaluation by them. But, and I'm sorry, can you repeat your follow-up question then that you just asked?
Well, I just want to know about a timing thing. When
Yeah,
this
timing,
engineering-
sorry,
Because, you know, we can't go ahead, you know, until we get that part done. So the
Absolutely.
quicker we can get this done, and I don't
Yes.
want to say it's urgent, but it would be nice to get it done pretty quick.
Absolutely, yeah. And the preliminary talks had been that they would be able to get the construction done in the coming months, and we would be able to start construction this year.
Okay.
Whether or not we'd be able to wrap that up in this construction season, or it might carry over into early next year potentially. But yeah, we're confident that it'll be at least underway, if not the majority completed this construction season.
Okay. And then, when you guys get this engineering analysis back, will you inform this committee and me?
Absolutely.
Okay, because I want to make sure I'm still in the loop, because I
Yeah.
just kind of feel like I've been out for a little bit, but I want to get back into every little detail that happens, because I get the questions, so I got to be able to
Absolutely.
answer those, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's been, it really was just kind of a remobilization of the efforts to date. There really hadn't been a lot of other progress lately, more just getting this designer on board and formally moving forward with the formal design. So, yeah, absolutely. And I'll also mention that built into the requested scope of services by this consultant is being there for some community engagement, making presentations to both the public, the county, working hand in hand with the county, as well as you all to make sure you stay informed.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you, Ian.
You bet.
Okay. Questions? That's great.
Madam
Okay.
Chair. Madam Chair.
Yes?
Thank you. Thank you for that presentation. Some was discussed last year as well. This is the first time this subject has been in the budget? Was it in the budget before?
So we actually
Previous
did
years?
increase the budget for 2026
Okay.
because we had, as I'd mentioned, it had been drawn out over many years, so our previous cost estimates needed to be increased to
So we
account
did,
for.
okay.
So yeah, it is budgeted this year, yes.
And we're moving forward for the first time with providing professional engineering.
Correct.
Data collection
Yes,
and
we've done some
design.
preliminary conceptual design services that were, I want to say we maybe paid 15,000, something like that, a smaller amount just to do some preliminary services. But yeah, this is the initial full-on meat and potatoes of the design.
Okay, and are you going to be looking at the road surface as well?
Only in terms of the noise that it would produce.
Well, that's
This-
where I'm going, absolutely. That's what it's all about, right? Noise
Yes.
reduction.
Yeah, so it is, with it being a county road, I don't think that there's any anticipation that there'd be a modification of the roadway itself. But we will be studying the reaction of the vehicles with the pavement and the subsequent noise produced and making sure that our sound attenuation that's achieved by this wall is maximized.
Okay, all right. Well, it's always very important for you to cross all your Ts and dot your Is before you come here and you get scrutinized, so I'm sure you're going to be doing that no matter what. It's par for the course for your team, so. thank
There's a
you
lot
very
of
much.
details to this one,
All
so
right.
absolutely.
Okay. No more questions? Can I have a motion? Motion
Second.
made by Alderman Jonathan Nunez,
Second.
second Alderman Larson. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion passed
Thank you.
4-0. Thank you. The last item is 26-0084, a resolution authorizing the Director of Purchasing to execute contract with Interiors for businesses in the amount of $307,000 for furnishing a River Edge Park.
Good afternoon, Jason Bauer with the Department of Public Works. Back again with River Edge Park discussions. One of the last times I was up here, did say that we had a couple more smaller packages coming through, those being the furnishings and also the audio equipment. So we should have something for the audio equipment here in probably the next couple of weeks that we'll be bringing back to this committee. But this would be the furnishings. So we have worked with Interiors for Business in the past. They have done furnishings, public works facility, some fire stations, a lot of the materials that we have here when we redid council chambers, fourth floor remodel. The nice thing about going with them is that they're in a co-op, so they actually have various contracts. So we're allowed to realize in some degree some savings, especially staff time to go through proposals when these people have the contracts to supply all these pieces of equipment as it stands. So we're looking to use that same method of procurement, which is totally acceptable by code and by purchasing, to go ahead and get the furnishings for this building. So, and I spoke with Alderman Masiacos this afternoon, and he made a good point that it would be good if I uploaded some of the floor plans. Was not able to get that to you guys in a timely manner for today, but suggested that I just, and I did struggle on the IT component, but we got there to throw these up for you guys now. But I will be uploading these documents. If you can see them, all the preliminary layout was done when the architect was working on the floor plans, so that, trying to get the rooms to function the way that they should. So like this building, for instance, this is the first floor backstage. So there's an area with a lot of dining tables. There's offices for production managers when there's concerts. And what Interiors for Business did was they took the floor plans, and then in working with the folks from ACA who kind of understand what's needed in each of these rooms. They went through and they looked at each space, identified what furniture wasn't there, what furniture needs were, and again, matching pretty much what the architect had. They just took the floor plans and then made various suggestions, and that was all fine-tuned to come up with what they call their final lookbook, and that's what this document is. And I can upload this document too, but you can see they took the drawings and they said, hey, here's a table, needs 4 chairs. and we need a desk, and we need a couple chairs at the desk. So they just went through and showed exactly what they were suggesting for each component, and they went room by room, floor plan by each floor plan for all the different buildings out there to come up with the list of everything that we're suggesting moving forward with. So these, for the most part, have the longest lead times were in the 8-week time frame, and they don't need a whole heck of a lot of time to install. There's not a lot of cabinetry. A lot of that's already underway with Wegman in terms of like the kitchens and the cabinets on the walls and things like that. So this is a lot. This will go pretty quickly, so we have no concerns with being ready for the concert season when the park is up and running. Everything else is running on time as well with all the purchases we've been making and the progress out at the park. More than happy to answer any questions that you might have. And again, I'll be uploading some of these documents just for clarity so that you kind of see where things are versus just a list of, 50 of these chairs and a desk here or whatever, so.
This is only for the backstage, right?
It's for every building that's out there.
Oh, the whole building?
The backstage is the biggest piece, but
What is going to be the laundry? Because they say they want to put laundry in there.
Yep.
What is it?
Where is it? It's on the second floor of the backstage building
Okay.
in, I think it's right in this.
Oh, right there.
Let me zoom in. Yeah, it's on the second floor of the backstage building. Right there in the corner, is where it says laundry.
On the second floor, right?
Yep, on the second
Okay.
floor there. Yep.
And what is the plan to do with the other little rooms we have in there?
In this building specifically?
No, in the other building. And
So the other building, the main issue that they have is it really only has one dressing room, and it's very small. I don't
and
know.
the
if
small
you've-
kitchen.
It's all very small. It can't be used for anything. Actually, before the construction of this backstage building, what they had to do to feed the crews and everything when the productions were getting set up for the 2 days or so before a concert, there was a double-wide trailer back there that you couldn't even get everybody in there to eat at the same time, so people were eating in shifts, and there was not sufficient space for the production managers between the trailer and between the small offices that are in the existing building. It was just,
Yeah,
it's
very
too small.
Yeah.
As soon as you have any larger acts, there was just no space for it. So they'll probably repurpose some of that for storage. It might still be useful to have a little seating area
Yeah.
in the existing building, because it's so much closer to the stage. But yeah, a lot of it is being used for storage even as we speak.
Good. Questions, comments?
Motion
Yes.
approve?
Just one
I'm
question,
sorry.
Joe, sorry.
Wait a minute.
So you mentioned furniture now, audio system next.
Mhm.
What else do we have pending for purchases?
Those are pretty much it.
Those are the two.
Yeah, those are the last ones that are outstanding. The bulk of it obviously was under the Wegman contract, and we've just come back for the pieces that we didn't really need to run through the construction manager. Obviously, if we can do it ourselves or use a co-op, if we can do some of those pieces on our own, it's not huge dollars, but you're going to save 10, 15% by the time it's all said and done. So on this one, the fact that we're able to use a co-op definitely helps. So we tried to pick out the things that we didn't necessarily need to run through that Wegman contract. So it's a little bit more work for us, but at the end of the day, it's a cost-saving measure.
And you mentioned that we're still on time, so I know a lot of us are being asked, when will it be completed? So do you have a rough estimate as to?
Yeah, well, we know the hard deadline is end of May, and we're on track for that. We came in and we put the purchase order in for the Jumbotron, so those are underway. We don't foresee any issues with any of the buildings. They're progressing nicely, so yeah, I would think that by that April, May timeframe, things are going to start looking pretty well close to done out there.
Okay. And then just one last question regarding the funding. This is all tied to the bonds that were taken out for
Correct.
the project?
Correct, yep.
Thank you.
Right. Well, we already have a motion by Alderman Tesmesiakos. Can I have a second by Alderman Larson? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion approved, 4-0. Thank you very much. No other items?
Motion adjourned.
Motion adjourned by Alderman Tesmesiakos. Second, Alderman Nunez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion adjourned at 4:40. Thank you very much.